Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Starlight Beacon Transmissions. My name is Eric Mitchell, and today I am doing something really cool. Finally, got my hands on some Star Wars Unlimited, so we are going to be opening this starter set as well as we're going to be opening up a few packs. We have 4 packs here that we're going to be opening up. We're going to be talking about some of the cards, we're going to be talking about some of the art. Um, and we're just going to be celebrating Star Wars. Now, when Fantasy Flight Games came out with the announcement for Star Wars Unlimited, a lot of us were really excited because it's been a while since we've got a big Star Wars trading card game. We did have Star Wars Destiny, which was a hybrid trading card game and dice game, and it was really good, and it was really well received. I was about to say willy, but it was really well received in the community, and it was a lot of fun to play. But a lot of people were clamoring for a Star Wars trading card game. Like I said, it'd been a while since we had one. We had the trading card game in the late 90s and early 2000s. And then we also had the living card game that Fantasy Flight did. And that's when they were also doing the Game of Thrones card game, the Legend. I think it was like the Legend of the Five Rings card game, Lord of the Rings card game, and those were living card games. So like they were constantly like being updated and everything. And now we have like this really cool card game coming out that is going to take us all over the history of Star Wars. We're primarily focusing on the Rebellion right now, and then I believe for set 2 we're going to get some Scoundrels, and I believe the starter set for that is going to be Mandalorian and Moff Gideon. So we're going to kind of go a little bit beyond the Galactic Civil War, and I'm hoping that eventually we'll get a High Republic set because I think that would be a lot of fun. And it was also another great opportunity or a great time for the Fantasy Flight to announce another card game because let's face it, TCGs are on the rise. The popularity of TCGs it's higher than it was just a couple of years ago, especially now that we're doing more and more events back in person. Now that the pandemic is over, and you have Magic the Gathering, which has been popular. You have Pokemon, which has been very popular and still continues to be popular. Yu-Gi-Oh continues to do well, and then you've got the Digimon card game that has entered the scene. You've got the One Piece card game that has entered the scene, and I got to tell you, I am a fan of the One Piece card game as well. I have a couple of decks for that, and it's just really cool. The art is beautiful, and it's a lot of fun to play. And then Disney came out with Lorcana, which has been very popular, and there's a lot of events for Lorcana now, and we are getting more and more product for Lorcana. So for Fantasy Flight to come out and say, hey, we're releasing a Star Wars trading card game, it was awesome. It was really cool. So we are going to dive into an opening here. We are going to be diving into this Spark of Rebellion box set. So let's dive into it, shall we? Give me 1 second here, and we are going to get into the fun and the excitement. Let's see here. All right. So I did pre-open this box. I did pre-open this box because I wanted to be able to get the stuff out here. All right, so let's see here. What do we have? All right, so first thing that we have here is we have 2 playmats. We have a Luke Skywalker playmat, and we have a Vader playmat. Let's take a look at the Vader playmat. Yeah, so this is the Vader playmat. So as you can see, you've got resources, space cards, ground unit, base leader cards, and then it'll also have information at the bottom to help you through your turns and your games. And then this is the opposite side of it. So if you really wanted to get a cool Darth Vader poster, here you go. So that's really cool. I really really like this. All right. So we have that, and now we have the Luke Skywalker playmat. So let's just take a look here. So you can see it's still the same playmat that we got with the Vader one. And then on the other side here, we have a poster of Luke Skywalker. So if you've been looking for a poster of Luke Skywalker for your Star Wars space, this is another great way of doing it. Uh, yeah, that was really cool. All right, let's see here. What else do we have? So we have our damage counters here, which you're going to be using throughout the game to track damage. However, I also like to use dice when it comes to trading card games to like track damage and everything. We have a rule book, which I'm going to be reading here in a little bit. All right, let's see here. What else do we have? Oh, we've got more damage counters, and then we also have the Star Wars Unlimited, the initiative token. So that's pretty cool too. Oh, cool. They give you deck boxes to put together. So you have your Vader deck box and your Luke Skywalker deck box. That's really cool. Uh, yeah, I'm liking that. That is I mean, you can always use more deck boxes, right? All right. And now we have the last bits here. So as you can see, nothing else in the box. That's how the box was. So nothing else in the box. And let's see here. What is our first pack here? Oh, looks like it's going to be Vader. So here we are. We're on opening up the first pack here, or the first deck, and we've got Darth Vader. This is the Darth Vader leader card that you're going to place on the board. And then at any point, you can actually activate the Vader leader card so he can come out as a ground unit as well. When he gets defeated, he goes back to exhausted like this on the board in the leader position. So you never lose your leader card, which is very. So that's Vader. All right, and now we have our base card. So this is your base. So like in a lot of other tabletop games, like Magic, your Planeswalker has 20 health. Your objective is to take out your opponent's base. So this is going to be the Death Star Command Center. And then on the back here, you actually get a Darth Vader deck list. So this tells you the other cards in the deck. That way, like if you were trying to remove some cards to build other decks, but then like you found different cards that really worked, um, then you can dive in, put the decks back together. All right, so let's see here. We have a token upgrade. We have three of these, and it's the experience token upgrade, which will give you a +1 to attack and +1 to health. This is also a zero cost. So this is a zero cost card, so you don't need any resources to play it. And then you also get a shield card um, for your space units. And so this will actually negate damage. This will negate at least one damage. So that is really, really cool. It says if damage would be dealt to attached unit, prevent that damage. If you do, defeat a shield token on it. So you could potentially stack one of your spaceships with a couple of shields and then keep it around for a few turns, which is really, really cool. So we have that. We have next up, we have two TIE Fighter cards. And so there's the TIE Fighter. It's 2 attack, 1 health. This costs 1 resource to play. So when you go into the resources here, If you're wondering, like, how do you play resources? So you'll actually take cards from your hand, and then you're going to place them face down on the board like this. So the back of the card is going to be facing you, and then in order to exhaust resources, you're going to rest the resource like you would in Magic the Gathering, or yeah, like you would in Magic the Gathering, or say like with One Piece, you're resting your Dawn. So yeah, here we have a couple of Death Star Stormtroopers. So it's 3 attack, 1 health, 1 cost. Next up, and we're going through the Vader deck first. Next up, we have a ground unit. This is Admiral Ozzel. He's a 2 cost, and he is a 2 attack, 3 defense. And here it says action, so you can tap him. Play an Imperial unit from your hand, paying its cost. It enters play ready. Each each opponent may ready a unit. So when you initially play cards and you put them on the board, they're going to be exhausted like this. However, some actions will allow cards, or some cards can be readied like this. Yeah, so some cards can be readied like this, can be played exactly like this, but most of the time they're going to be exhausted, and then at the beginning of your next turn, you'll be able to ready that card and use it. Next up, we have First Legion Snow Trooper. This is a 2 cost. He's a 2/3, so actually pretty decent cost here. And the text says while attacking a damaged unit, this unit gets +2/+0 and gains overwhelm. Deals excess damage to the opponent's base. So you could potentially take out an opposing player's other unit and then do damage to that player's base with the leftover damage. So say like one character still is damaged and only has like 1 life left, and you attack, so you're going to be swinging for 4. That character is going to get 3, or that character is going to take that remaining damage, so that'll be the 1 damage, and then you put 3 onto your opposing player's base. That's actually a pretty decent card. Next up, we have a ground unit. This is Admiral Mahdi. He is a 2 cost. He's a 1/1, and when he's defeated, you can ready a unit with this symbol up here. I'm going to get into the symbols here in a later video, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And so you have 3 Admiral Mahdi's in the deck. We have a Snow Trooper Lieutenant. This is a 2 cost. He's a 2/2. And here it says when played, you may attack with a unit. If it's an Imperial unit, it gets +2/+0 for this attack. You can only attack with a ready friendly unit. So if you have a ready friendly Imperial unit and you play this card, and then that unit is ready, it gets +2/+0 to its attack. So even then, you can swing for more damage, which is really cool. Next up, we have the Viper Probe Droid. So this is a ground unit. It's a 2 cost. It's a 3/2, and then it says when played, look at your opponent's hand. You can look at an opponent's hand, which can actually give you a lot of information. A lot of information, which is really, really vital to a game like Star Wars Unlimited. Next up, we have Admiral Piet. He's a 2 cost. He's a 1/4. So he only has 1 attack, but he has 4 life. And it says each friendly non-leader unit that costs 6 or more gains ambush. After you play that unit, it may ready and attack an enemy unit. So that's really cool. So yeah, that's really, really cool. So you can do some damage with this too. Next up, we have the Super Laser Technician. This is a 3 cost. There's going to be 3 Super Laser Technicians in the starter deck. This is going to be a 3 cost. It is a 2/1. I mean, look at the art on these cards. The art on these cards is absolutely gorgeous. This is a 2/1, and it says when defeated, you may put this unit into play as a resource and ready it. So you can get an extra resource right here by just sacrificing this dude. By just making this dude a meat shield. That's crazy. Next up, we have the Cell Block Guard. This is a 3 cost. He's an Imperial Trooper. He's a 3/3, and he has the Sentinel code word here, where it says units in this arena can't attack your non-Sentinel units or your base. So if you have a couple of these guys out first, your opponent needs to attack these guys first before they can attack other units or your base. That's really, really cool, and it's going to come in handy, especially it comes in handy especially in mid game where a lot of damage can be done. So you have 3 of those. For our boys over at Veers Watch, here you go. Here's General Veers. He's back. He is a 3 cost. He's a 3/3. And it says other friendly Imperial units get +1/+1 when he comes out. That is awesome. So you can get buffs here. All right. Next up, we have 3 Tarkin cards. This is a 4 cost card. He's a 2/3. And it says when played, search the top 5 cards of your deck for up to 2 Imperial cards, reveal them, and then draw them. Put the other cards on the bottom of your deck in a random order. So that's really cool. You can play him, you can cost 4, play him, and then get more units for your hand to potentially play either then or on your following turn. So we have some more ships now. Here we have the Imperial Interceptor. So this is the TIE Interceptor. It's a 4 cost. It's a 3/2, and it says when played, you may deal 3 damage to a space unit. So you could actually knock out. You could potentially knock out a lot of units by just playing that. Next up, we have the TIE Advanced. This is another 4 cost. It's a 3/2, so 3 attack, 2 life. And it says when played, give 2 experience tokens to another friendly Imperial unit. Which I'm going to read about experience tokens here soon. Excuse me. Let's see here. What else do we have? What else do we have here? Oh, we have the ATST. This is a ground unit. It's a 6 cost, and it has 6 attack, 7 life. You can do a lot of damage to a base with this. And it says it has overwhelm when attacking an enemy unit. Deal excess damage to that opponent's base. That's that's pretty wild. Next up, we have the Gladiator Star Destroyer. This is a 6 cost. Look at that Star Destroyer. It's awesome. This is 5/6. So 5 attack, 6 life. And it says when played, give a unit Sentinel for this phase. Units in this area can't attack your non-Sentinel units or your base. So that's really cool. So you can give other units Sentinel with this. So you want to try to get rid of that Star Destroyer as much as possible, or as soon as possible. Next up, we have the Blizzard Assault AT-AT. This is an 8 cost, 9/9. So now we're getting into more expensive cards. 9/9, and it says when this unit attacks and defeats a unit, you may deal the excess damage from this attack to an enemy ground unit. So you can wipe the board pretty quickly with this. Next up, we have Emperor Palpatine, good old Sheevy Palps. This is an 8 cost. It's a 6/6. It has overwhelm when attacking an enemy unit. Deal excess damage to the opponent's base. When played, so when you play this card, deal 6 damage divided as you choose among enemy units. So you could potentially drop him on the board and your opponent's board wipe your opponent's board. That's awesome. That's really cool. Next up, we have a 9 cost. This is the Relentless. This is another space unit. It is an 8/8, and it says the first event played by each opponent, each round loses all abilities when this thing's in play. That's pretty crazy. Next, we have a couple of upgrade cards here. So we have Vader's lightsaber. This is an upgrade. This is a 2 cost. You can attach it to a non-vehicle unit. Will give that unit a +3/+1, so +3 to attack, +1 to defense. When played, if attached unit is Darth Vader, you may deal 4 damage to a ground unit. That's pretty crazy. So you're going to get 3 of these in the deck. Next up, we have event cards. Let's see here. All right. Yeah, we're almost to the end here in this deck. We have Recruit. This is a 1 cost event card. And it says search the top 5 cards of your deck for a unit, reveal it, and draw it. Put the other cards on the bottom of your deck in a random order. All right, so the next thing that we have here, we have Force Choke. This is an event card. This is a 2 cost. And it says if you control a force unit, this event costs 1 less resource to play. Deal 5 damage to a non vehicle unit. That unit's controller draws a card. Next up, we have Resupply. And look, there's Hera and Sabine there. This is a 3 cost card. And it says put this event into play as a resource. You can exhaust it. That's really cool too. Next up, we have 3 of these. This is the Open Fire event card. This is a 3 cost, and you can deal 4 damage to a unit. So you can potentially wipe a huge threat off the board by just playing that card. Next up, we have an event card. This is I Am Your Father. You have 3 of these in the deck. It's a 3 cost, and I'll read the text here in a second, where it says deal 7 damage to an enemy unit unless its controller says no. If they do, draw 3 cards. That's cool because you actually get to reenact the I am your father scene. That's fun. Good on you, Fantasy Flight. Next event card we have is Maximum Firepower. This is a 4 cost where it says a friendly Imperial unit deals damage equal to its power to a unit. Then another friendly Imperial unit deals damage equal to its power to the same unit. Which I'm going to have to read about that. I'm going to have to read up more on that one. And then our next one here, our final card in the Vader deck, is we have the Overwhelming Barrage. This is a 5 cost card where it says give a friendly unit +2/+2 for this phase. Then it deals damage equal to its power divided as you choose among any number of other units. That's really cool. That's really cool. So, yeah, that's your Vader deck. I do have to get sleeves for these. So, I am going to get sleeves for these and then eventually shuffle these up. But the cool thing is now that I have the Vader deck, I can also. Hey, look at this. I've got a fancy dancy deck box here that I can put the cards in. So that makes it a lot better. So I'm going to put these cards in here for right now. Yep. And look at that. Look at that. That's That's pretty cool. And then it's got the Fantasy Flight logo there. It says Star Wars Unlimited on the back. That's really cool. All right. So now we are going to open up the Luke Skywalker cards, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go through the deck, and then we are also going to put it in a deck box, and then we're going to open up a few packs. I picked up 4 packs. I picked up four boosters. So we're going to go through those here in a minute. But let's dive into this here. Excuse me. First card is your Luke Skywalker leader card. And also, the leaders have epic actions where it says if you control 6 or more resources, deploy this leader, flip him, ready him, and move him to the ground area or the ground arena. And then that's what the ground unit card looks like. So he's a 4/7. He has 4 attack, 7 health. Um, and it says on attack, you may give another unit a shield token. So that's really cool. So you can actually be able to buff up other units with Luke Skywalker on the board. Your base is going to be the Administrator's Tower on Cloud City. So that's going to be 30 health. And then you've got the deck list again, just in case you need it. Excuse me, real quick. All right, let's see here. So, like the first one, we have the token upgrade, the experience token upgrade. This is 0 cost. Gives you +1/+1. And then on the back, you have the shield upgrade card, 0 cost, and you get +0/+0. So you have those three. Let's get into the unit cards now. First unit card. This is 1 cost. This is the 2B surgical droid. He has 1 attack, 3 life, and it says on attack you may heal 2 damage from another unit. So that is a good thing as well, where you can actually chip away not only at your opponents, but you can also just start healing other units. So that's a good thing. Next up, we have 3 of my favorite boy, or one of my favorites. This is R2D2. He is a 1 cost, 1 attack, 4 health. It says when played on attack, look at the top card of your deck. You may put it in the you may put it on the bottom of your deck. Otherwise, leave it on the top of your deck. So you could potentially just get rid of a bad draw just by playing that card. Next up, we have the Alliance X-Wing. This is a 2 cost, 2 life, 3 health. And you have 3 of those in your deck. Next up, you have C3PO, 2 cost. He's a 1/4, and it says when played on attack, choose a number and then look at the top card of your deck. If its cost is the chosen number, you may reveal and draw it. Otherwise, leave it on the top of your deck. And you've got 3 of those. Next up, you have the Rebel Pathfinder. He's a 2 cost, 2 attack, 3 life, but he has the Saboteur keyword. When this unit attacks, ignore Sentinel and defeat the defender's shields. So that's pretty cool. So you can potentially ignore any Sentinel characters on the board and do a lot of damage. However, there's only one in the deck. Like I said, there's only one in the deck though, so you might want to just, keep that in mind. Next up, we have Space Unit. This is the restored ARC 170 from the Clone Wars, precursor to the X-Wing. It's a 2 cost, 2/3, where it says restore 1. When this unit attacks, heal 1 damage from your base. And there's 2 of those in there. Up next, oh man. Up next, I'm so happy that she's in this deck. We have Leia. I mean, just look at how beautiful that card is. Just absolutely look at it. She's a 2 cost. She has 2 attack, 2 life. Um, Oh man, it's such a beautiful card. And it says when played, either ready a resource or exhaust a unit. So there are 3 in the deck. Next up, we have a Rogue Operative. This is a 3 cost, 2/4, and it does have Saboteur, where it says when this unit attacks, ignore Sentinel and defeat the defender's shield. But it also has Raid 2, where it says this unit gets +2/+0 when attacking. So you can deal quite a bit of damage. Next up, we have 3 Fleet Lieutenant cards. Uh, it's a 3 cost, it's a 3/3. And it says when played, you may attack with a unit. If it's a rebel unit, it gets +2/+0 for this attack. You can only attack with a ready friendly unit. Next up, we have another space vehicle. This is Wing Leader. It's a 3 cost. It's a 2/1, and it says when played, give 2 experience tokens to another friendly rebel unit. Next up, we have Yoda. Yes, Yoda. He's a 3 cost. He's a 2/4 right there. And it says restore 2. When this unit attacks, heal 2 damage from your base. When defeated, choose any number of players. They each draw a card. Also, I'm sorry if the video is skipping a little bit. I have to pause sometimes to clear my throat. I'm still getting over a little gunk. Next up, we have the Cloud City Wing Guard. And he's a sentinel. So you have to go through him first to attack other units. We have our first sentinel spacecraft of the deck. This is the 4 cost system patrol craft. He's a 3/4. And so this is a sentinel. So you have to go through him in order to attack the base or other units. Now, here's the thing. Space units can only attack space units or bases. Ground units can only attack ground units or bases. They can't attack vice versa. Next up, we have 3 consular security forces. These are 4 costs, 3 attack, 7 life. That's actually not bad for a 4 cost, really. And you get 3 of them in your deck. We have a Liberator gunship. This is a 4 cost right there. He's a 3/4, and it says ambush. After you play this unit, it may ready and attack an enemy unit. Next up, we have another unit card here, ground unit. This is General Dodonna. He's a 4 cost. He's a 4/4, and other friendly rebel units get +1/+1. So that can easily turn the tide there. Next up, we have a ground unit. We have the Snow Speeder. He's a 5 cost. He's a 3/6. And it has ambush. On attack, exhaust an enemy vehicle or ground unit. So that's pretty cool. Next up, we have Chewbacca. He's a 5 cost. He's a 3/6, and he has Sentinel. And it says when this unit is attacked, ready him. So you could do a lot of damage with that too. We have our Vigilant Honor Guards. This is a 5 cost, 4/6, and it says while this unit is undamaged, it gains Sentinel. Units in this arena can't attack your non-Sentinel units or bases. So that's really, really cool. So, like I said, that's really cool, and you can easily stack the deck with that. Like, you can build decks that have those units in there. Next up, we have Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's a 6 cost. He's a 4/6, but he also has Sentinel too. So that is cool. When defeated, give 2 experience tokens to another friendly unit. If it's a force unit, draw a card. So you could potentially buff Yoda, which is pretty cool. Next up, we have my boy, my favorite Star Wars character, Han Solo. He's a 7 cost, he's a 6/6, and he comes with ambush. And it also says while attacking, this unit deals combat damage before the defender. If the defender is defeated, it deals no combat damage. Han Solo shoots first. That's what the card says. Han Solo shoots first, and I love it. Absolutely love it. It makes me so happy. Next up, we have an upgrade. This is the Resilient upgrade. It gives you +0, +3, so it actually buffs your health. Next up, we have 3 upgrades here. This is the Luke's lightsaber you attach to a non-vehicle unit. This is a 2 cost, gives you +3 attack, +1 health. When played, if attached unit is Luke Skywalker, heal all damage from him and give a shield token to him. So you could potentially buff Luke Skywalker in a huge way. Next up, we have Repair. You have 2 of these. These are 1 costs, and you can heal 3 damage from an enemy, or no, heal 3 damage from a unit or a base. So that's clutch. Speaking of shooting first, we have the Shoot First event. This is a 1 cost where it says attach with a unit. It gets +1, +0 for this attack and deals its combat damage before the defender. You can only attack with a ready friendly unit. If the defender is defeated, it deals no combat damage to the attacker. So once again, you shoot first. Next up, we have the Asteroid Sanctuary. This is a trick. This is a 2 cost. And says exhaust an enemy unit. Give a shield token to a friendly unit that costs 3 or less. And there's 2 of these in the deck. Let's see here. Next up, we have Surprise Strike. This is a 2 cost. And look, there's Cassian trying to attack Krennic. It's a 2 cost, and it says attack with a unit. It gets +3, +0 for this attack. You can only attack with a ready friendly unit. And there's 2 cards there. Now, not all of these cards are going to be available to play because you might need to exhaust some of these cards or use some of these cards as your resources so that you can play other cards. So just remember that. Next up, we have Waylay. This is a 3 cost here, and it says return a non-leader unit to its owner's hand. There's 2 of those there. So you could actually potentially get a big threat off the board for at least a turn. Next up, we have 3 of these cards. These are the final event cards of the deck, and the final cards of the deck. And this is a Vanquish. It's a 5 cost. It's a tactic card, and it says defeat a non-leader unit. So there you have it, folks. That's the Luke Skywalker deck. That is the Luke Skywalker deck. And actually pretty cool, some pretty cool stuff in there. And we're going to put it in a handy dandy deck box here. Like I said, good on Fantasy Flight for doing this. It actually helps a lot when it comes to card storage. So you can also buy deck boxes from Game Genic, which I am going to be doing and I'm also going to be buying sleeves because I like sleeved cards. It helps especially like with shuffling and it helps with drawing, so that way you're not accidentally like pulling 2 or 3 cards. And there's the Luke Skywalker deck box right there. You can see Fantasy Flight on both sides, and then of course the Star Wars Unlimited there. So really cool. That is the starter set for Star Wars Unlimited. Let me know what you think. Gonna take just a moment here, and then we're gonna get ready to open some packs. So give me 1 second. All right, and now it's time to open some packs. So I tore open to this one just a little bit, just to kind of get a sneak peek. But I only saw the top card. I didn't look at any of the other cards. But as you can see here, there's my boy Chewbacca, and you get 16 cards per pack, which is really good. These retail for about $5 each. which isn't terrible for a booster pack. So let's dive into the cards here. Let's see here. All right, our first card, we have a leader card, and we have Leia. There you go. There's Leia Organa, and then there is also the unit card if you do end up playing Leia. Next up, we have our base card. That's Echo Base, so you can always play that as well. We have our first unit card of the game or of the pack, and it's a Wampa. It's a 4-cost Wampa that's a 4/5, and it's a creature. It says Overwhelm. When attacking an enemy unit, deal excess damage to the opponent's base. Next up, we have Super Laser Technician. Then we have the Cloud City Wingguard. Once again, this is the Sentinel. He's a 3-cost, 2/4. We have our Spec Force Soldier. This is a Rebel Trooper. It's a 1-cost. It's a 2/2. And it says when played, a unit loses Sentinel for this phase. So you could actually make a unit lose Sentinel, take it out. I mean, or take it out, or you can deal a final blow to an enemy base. So who knows? We have a 5-cost. This is a Steadfast Battalion. This is a 5/5. This is actually pretty decent 5-cost, where it says Overwhelm, and then on attack, if you control a leader unit, give a friendly unit +2/+2 for this phase. So that's really good. We have a ground vehicle here. This is the Cargo Juggernaut. 6 cost. It's a 4/6. It's shielded. When you play this unit, give a shield token to it. When played, if you control another unit with this symbol there, heal 4 damage from your base. Next up, we have the Liberator Gunship. Next up, Underworld Thug. This is a 2-cost. It's a 2/3, so it has 2 attack, 3 health. Then we have Gamorrean Guards. It's a 4-cost. It's a 4/4, and it says when you control another unit with this symbol, this unit gains Sentinel. Units in this arena cannot attack your non-Sentinel units or your base. Next up, we have Lieutenant Childson. He's a 4-cost. He's a 2/2. He is a Sentinel, but it says when played, reveal up to 4 cards with the top symbol here from your hand. For each card revealed this way, give an experience token to this unit. We have a wing leader here. It's a 3-cost. It's a 2/1. And it says give 2 experience tokens to another friendly rebel unit. We have an event card. This is a 2-cost. It's no good to me dead. And it says exhaust a unit. That unit can't ready this round, including the regroup phase. Then we have a 4-cost here. Don't get cocky. And there's Luke in the gunner seat of the Falcon. And it says choose a unit. One at a time, reveal cards from your deck until you choose to stop or have revealed 7 cards. If the combined cost of the revealed cards is 7 or less, deal that much damage to the chosen unit. Put the revealed cards on the bottom of your deck in a random order. That's pretty cool. And then next, we have our Hollow. There we go. This is a 5-cost card. This is the Rugged Survivors. Here it is again. You get Grit. This unit gets +1/+0 for each damage on it. If you control a leader unit, you may draw a card. That's on attack. So not bad. Not bad at all. Pretty decent pretty decent pulls there. I'm still trying to figure out like rarity of cards and all that fun stuff. All right, so next up, we're going to be opening another Chewy pack, and then we're going to open a Leia pack, and then we're going to open Thrawn. Yes. So let's get ready here. All right, let's see here. All right, our first leader card. That's pretty cool. We have Tarkin. It's our first leader card, and then that's the unit card for Tarkin. Pretty cool. I like the card. Next up, we have. Oh, cool! We have a Jeddah base card, the Caverns of Kadera. That's beautiful. And then on the back, we have an experience too. So you can always use that as an experience card instead of using it as a base. Next up, we have an event card. This is Precision Fire. It's a tactic. This is a 1 cost. And it says attack with a unit. It gains Saboteur for this attack. If it's a trooper, it also gets +2/+0 for this attack. Ignore Sentinel and defeat the defender's shields. Next up, we have a resupply card. There's Hera and Sabine. Then we have the Academy Defense Walker. That's our 6 cost card. 5/5. It is a Sentinel. And it says, when played, give an experience token to each friendly damaged unit. Next up, we have a Space Unit. This is a 3 cost disabling Fang Fighter. When played, you may defeat an upgrade. That's pretty cool. Next up, we have Strike True. This is a tactic card. It's a 3 cost. And look at that, Luke Skywalker. Absolutely gorgeous. A friendly unit deals damage equal to its power to an enemy unit. Once again, we have the 2/1B Surgical Droid, where you can heal 2 damage from another unit. We have another space. Yeah, we have another space unit here. This is the Mining Guild TIE Fighter, 1 cost. It's a 1/2. On attack, you may pay 2 resources. If you do, draw a card. You know me. I love my Z95 Headhunters. We got them in Star Wars Unlimited as well. This is 2 cost. It's a 1/3. Raid 1. This unit gets +1/+0 while attacking. On attack, if you control a leader unit, you may exhaust a non-leader unit. Next up, we have the Snow Trooper Lieutenant. There we go. 2 cost. It's a 2/2. When played, you may attack with a unit. If it's an Imperial unit, it gets +2/+0 for this attack. We have a 1 cost. This is Greedo. Yeah, Greedo. He's a 3/1. When defeated, you may discard a card from your deck. If it's not a unit, deal 2 damage to a ground unit. Then we have a space vehicle here. This is the Bright Hope. It's a 4 cost. It's a 2/6. It has Sentinel. When played, you may return a friendly non-leader ground unit to its owner's hand. If you do, draw a card. We have a ground unit here. We have the 5th Brother. He's a 3 cost. He's a 2/4. It says this unit gains raid 1 for each damage on him. He gets +1/+0 while attacking for each damage on him. You may deal on attack, you may deal 1 damage to this unit and 1 damage to another ground unit. We do have a ground unit here. This is Vader. He's a 7 cost. He's a 5/7. He has ambush. When played, search the top 10 cards of your deck for any number of cards that have the bottom symbol. With combined cost of 3 or less, play each of them for free. And our holographic here is my boy Bosk. He's a 5 cost. He's a 4/5. He has ambush. And it says when you play an event, you may deal 2 damage to units. That's awesome. That's really cool. Not bad at all. Really cool, really fun. I'm really excited about the boss card, really. I love bounty hunters a lot. All right, so we're opening the Leia pack. Let's see what we get here. There we go. All right. Oh, cool. We started off with Chirrut Imwe as our leader. And then that's his ground unit card. Pretty cool. He's a 3/5, and it says during the action phase, this unit isn't defeated by having no remaining HP. During the regroup phase, if he has no remaining HP, defeat him. Okay, cool. Next up, we have our base, and it is the Dagobah Swamp. And then on the back, you have your shield upgrade. But cool. I might use the Dagobah Swamp. Next up, we have the Consortium Star Viper. It's a 3 cost. It's a 3/3. And says while you have the initiative, this unit gains Restore 2. When this unit attacks, he'll deal 2 damage from your base. So yeah, you could easily knock that out. Next up, we have a Death Trooper. This is a 3 cost. It's a 3/3. It says when played, deal 2 damage to a friendly ground unit and 2 damage to an enemy ground unit. Next up, we have the Cantina Braggart. It's a 1 cost, 0/3, raid 2. This unit gets +2/+0 while attacking. Next up, from Solo, we have the Vanguard Infantry. It's a 1 cost. It's a 1/2. It says when defeated, you may give an experience token to another unit. Next up, we have the Alliance X-Wing. 2 costs, 2/3. Repair is our next one. This is a 1 cost. And you can heal 3 damage from a unit or base. Next up, we have a Swoop Racer. That's a 3 cost. It's a 4/3. Next up, we have a TIE Fighter. 1 cost, 2/1. We have a Surprise Strike as our tactic card. It's a 2 cost, and it says attack with a unit. It gets +3/+0 for this attack. Next up, we have the Reinforcement Walker. This is an 8 cost, but it's a 5/9. When played on attack, look at the top card of your deck. Either draw that card or discard it and heal 3 damage from your base. Next up, we have the Starwing Scout. This is a 3 cost here. It is a 4/1. And it says when defeated, if you have the initiative, draw 2 cards. And it looks like we're getting into the final card of the deck here. Or no, not yet. Not yet. But we have a full art Enforcement Walker. That's really cool. It's a beautiful card. Then we have a Bail Organa. He's a 1 cost. He's a 1/2. On an action, give an experience token to another friendly unit. And our holographic is we have Wolf. 2 costs. He's a 3/2. Saboteur. When played on attack, bases can't be healed for this phase. Very cool. Very, very cool. It was cool seeing that full art troop transport. All right. Final pack. It's the Thrawn pack. Let's get into the fun now, shall we? Let's see what we get. All right. All right. Our leader card is IG88. And then that's what he looks like. Next up, our base card is Echo Base. So yeah, Echo Base was our base card. Next up, we have the Imperial Interceptor. This is a 4 cost. Oh, cool. We have an event card. This is the Medal Ceremony. It's a 0 cost, so that's really cool. It says give an experience token to each of up to 3 rebel units that attack this phase. Oh, this is a beautiful card. The Seasoned Shore Trooper. 2 cost, 2/3. It says while you control 6 or more resources, this unit gets +2/+0. We have the System Patrol Craft, 4 cost, 3/2. It's a Sentinel, or 3/4. It's a Sentinel. We have Open Fire next. Deal 4 damage to a unit. This is a 3 cost. We have a Recruit. This is a 1 cost. Search the top 5 cards of your deck for a unit, reveal it, and draw it. Put the other cards on the bottom of your deck in a random order. We have a Mandalorian card here. This is Snapshot Reflexes. It's a 1 cost, where it says, when played, you may attack with attached unit, and the attached unit gets +1/+1. We have a Rebel unit here, Lothal Insurgent. It's a 2 cost. It's a 3/2. When played, if you played another card this phase, each opponent draws a card, then discards a random card from their hand. We have Confiscate. This is a 1 cost. You defeat an upgrade. Yoda is back. He was from the starter set. We have Outmaneuver. This is a tactic here. It's a 3 cost. And it says choose an arena, ground or space, exhaust each unit in that arena. Next up, we have another base. This is an energy conversion lab. And it says epic action. Play a unit that costs 6 or less from your hand. Give it ambush for this phase. Oh man. Heroic Sacrifice. This is a 1 cost. It's an event. There you can see K2SO. And it says draw a card, then attack with a unit. For this attack, it gets +2/+0 and gains when this unit deals combat damage, defeat it. And then our final card, our final holo, Battlefield Marine. It's a 2 cost and it's a 3/3. So not bad, not bad at all. Really cool. I love the art on these cards. Absolutely love the art on these cards. Um, I am so excited to dive into this game and this game in this incredible world. I really, really am. You know me, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and Star Wars is just this incredible series um, that just it makes me so happy. It just honestly makes me so so happy. And to be playing a card game set in our galaxy, my favorite galaxy, far far away, just oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait to dive in. I did find a local game store that is doing events, and I'm going to start going and start playing in those events. So excited for that. I hope I can get competitive. I really do. Also, if you have Star Wars Unlimited and if you have played it, and you want to help me build decks and whatever, yeah, let's dive into it. Follow us on socials and let's talk Star Wars Unlimited. Fantasy Flight, thank you for giving us Star Wars Unlimited. Now, Fantasy Flight did not provide the products to me. I went to my local game store and picked these up using my own money. So the only endorsement that I'm giving Fantasy Flight is a great job on those starter sets, great job on the packs. Like I said, love these deck boxes. Absolutely love these deck boxes. I really wish more and more card games would come with deck boxes to put your cards in. Now the One Piece card game does, but I'm not talking about One Piece. I'm talking about, or some One Piece card game sets do come with deck boxes. Um, but yeah, like please give us more deck boxes, Fantasy Flight. Like seriously. Also, Game Genic has some deck boxes, which I am going to be picking up one of those as well. Also, I need to get sleeves, so I'm going to be ordering some clear sleeves from Fantasy Flight. I really want to get the Star Wars Unlimited sleeves. However, I have been seeing them sell out, and I do want to get a Star Wars Unlimited playmat. So I am going to have to try to find those. But that's Star Wars Unlimited. I know this was an hour-long video, but I really just wanted to showcase Star Wars Unlimited and show you um, just how excited I am to play this game. So that's it for me. I hope that you enjoyed. May the force be with you. May you always fight for light and life. And remember, at the end of the day, we are all the Republic. We'll see you later.